Hello everyone, welcome to this video tutorial on if-else loop in Matlab. These are used when we have to take decisions on multiple conditions in Matlab. So you can see here, this is the condition. If the signal is green, we can go, and if it is false, that is the condition is false, the signal is not green, then we have to stop on the signal. So this is how the if-else loops are used. So let's go to this next slide. So these are the learning outcomes of this video. After this video, you will be able to write simple if-else loops to perform conditional tasks. You can use comparison operators effectively within the conditions, and you can implement logical operators to combine multiple conditions. So there are three types of if-else loop structures available in Matlab. Those are if and loop, that is valid for single condition. Then we have if-else loop, if-else end condition. So this, if we have two conditions, you can use this, and if we have multiple conditions, then we have to use if, else if, and else and condition. So this is the structure 3, this is structure 2, this is structure 1. Okay, now we'll move to the if and structure. This is the structure for if and condition. If we have single condition, then we use this. So the loop is like this. If we have to write the condition, if this is true, the body of the loop will be executed and it will end. If it is false, directly skipping this body, the loop will complete. So the structure is like that. In Matlab, we have to write if the condition here, condition goes here, then we have to write this body here, body of loop, and then after this there is an end. So this end is necessary. This is must in Matlab. This is must in Matlab. Must complete this if statement or any loop statement with end. Now how does it will work? I will change this thing. If this condition holds true, this becomes true, this body is executed. That if this condition is false, I'll change the color, this is false, then without execution of body, loop close, loop ends. So ends. So if this condition is false, this body will not be executed. Okay, now we'll go to the Matlab and we'll see how does this work. So I have opened this Matlab online platform. Okay, then I have opened this thing, new live script, and in this live script we will be dealing with if loops. Okay, now this is a live editor. So the first one is if and structure example. So this is heading 1, let's say. Okay, then we'll go to the code segment. Okay, now we have to write a code. So for this we'll consider an example that let's say if we have to calculate, or we'll just first of all write the structure. If now we have to write a condition here, condition goes here, then we have body of the loop. Now we will make this comment. Okay, so then we have to write end. So this is the general structure of the if loop. Now let's consider that we have a single condition. Okay, now what we will do, we will single condition a, will define a is equal to 5, and we'll apply this condition here. If a is greater than 2, if a is greater than 2, if a is greater than 2, print or display a. Okay, display a, else it will not display a. Now instead of this thing, if we will take input from user, input, then enter the value of a. Okay, now we will run this thing. It will ask you for the value of a. Here in command window we have to give the value of a. Let's say we want it greater than 2, we'll put it 5, so it is giving us a output. Okay, now we have to suppress this output, and again we will run this thing. Now this time we will put a value of a is 1. Okay, now you can see here it is not displaying the value a. This is not needed. Now again we will run this and we'll substitute a value 3. This time it will display the value of a. Okay, now f, we'll use f print f printf the a is greater than 2. Okay, now we'll run this again and substitute a value of 4. Okay, so a is greater than 2. This is how you can use the if and structure. Now we'll see one more example how to use this if and structure. Now the condition, the problem is like that. We have to calculate the salary of a person. Now it is calculated on hourly basis. It is calculated on hourly basis. What I will do, I will take this thing. Let's open OneNote. Yeah. And we'll understand the problem first and then we'll solve it using Matlab. Okay, so we have to calculate salary of a labor based on working hours. Okay, so if it is like salary is equal to number of hours into rate. So rate is nothing but the amount per hour. So rate is nothing but amount per hours. Okay, now we will calculate, and we also will calculate the salary after the overtime. Okay, overtime, and if we perform, if number of hours are greater than 40, then this overtime will be applied, and then the overtime salary is salary after overtime. Sorry, after overtime is nothing but this is salary plus, now we have to calculate the number of hours more than 40, so number of hours minus 40 into, now the, if let's say the amount, the rate for overtime is higher than this normal rate, so let's say it is twice into the rate. So this is how you can calculate the salary after overtime. I'll write it again. Salary after overtime. So we have to calculate the salary after overtime. This will be equal to original salary plus, if it is 40, it is greater than 40, then this will be the formula. Now we will code this in Matlab. Yeah, so I'll add one more cell here. Text salary example. Calculate the salary of labor after overtime. Okay, and then let's take an example, number of hours. Okay, we'll take input hours, let's say as worked is equal to input, enter the total working. Okay, so I'll keep this small. Then we want a rate, so rate at which per, okay, if if hours worked is greater than 40, okay, 40, then salary is equal to hours worked into rate. Okay, this is hours worked, that is, we will consider this as a 40 and plus. Now here we have to calculate what are the hours greater than 40. So let's say minus 40 into rate, and we will consider for overtime, we will consider rate as a twice. Okay, so for 40 hours this is the rate, and for overtime this is the rate condition. Okay, then, and that's it. So we'll run this thing. This should be enter. Yeah, so we want working hours. Let's say we work for 45 hours and rate per hour is 200 rupees or 200 units per hour. Okay, and the salary becomes 10,000. So this is how you can use if and structure in Matlab. Now let's move to the slides. So this is the if and structure. So the next structure is if else and structure. If we have two conditions, then we use this structure. So structure is like this. If we have, let me change the color. Yeah, this is okay. If we have condition 1 here, now we'll go to this body or code 1, then else, then we will write this code 2 and end. Okay, so this is the basic structure, and if this becomes true, so this condition is true, in that case this code 1 will be executed, and after this code 1, loop is closed, it goes to end and loop is closed. Now there will be another chance that this condition becomes false, so this become false. If this condition is false, this code will not, or 1 will not be executed. Instead it will go to else, then this code 2 will be executed, then it will go to end, and this loop is closed. Now this is the structure. Okay, this is the structure for if else and structure, loop structure. Okay, now we'll see this in Matlab. Okay, so this is the live editor again we have, and we'll take this example only. We want, sorry, yeah, this. Okay, now if else and structure. Now earlier we calculated the salary after the overtime only. Now consider that we have to calculate the salary which is for working hour less than 40 and more than 40 as well. In both the conditions we have to calculate the salary. Now we'll just copy this code and we will paste it here. So number of hours worked, rate, this becomes same. Okay, then if work hours are, now what we will do here, let's say this is less than 40, this is less than 40, the salary will be hours worked into the rate, and this portion will not be there. Okay, so if it is less than 40, then this will be the salary. Else, okay, else what will the salary will be equal to 40 into rate, that remains same. Okay, then yeah, this is the rate plus salary for overtime. So overtime, how we'll calculate? Hours worked minus 40. So minus 40 into at what rate? Twice the rate. So this becomes the overtime salary. Okay, now here we will, yeah, after that there is end. Sorry. Okay, now here we will print f. Print f. What we have to print? You worked less than 40 hours. Your salary is percentage d, comma salary. Okay, so this is how you can print. Now for this thing, this will become you worked more than 40 hours. More than 40 hours, your salary is salary. Okay, now we will execute this code in the section. What is the working hour? Let's say first time we will consider this as less than 30, sorry, less than 40, that is 30, and at the rate of 200 per hour. So the salary is 6,000. So it is saying that you work less than 40 hours, your salary is 6,000. Let's run it again, and if now this we will consider 50 hours at 200 rupees per hour. So this is saying that you work more than 40 hours, your salary is 12,000. Okay, so this is how you can use if else and structure. Okay, now we will take one more example of the same. Okay, now here we will consider that if the student is passed, or we'll consider the categories of students. Okay, categories of the student. Okay, or it is pass or fail, that is result of student, will say student. Okay, then in marks equal to input enter the marks, then if marks are greater than 40, again we'll make 35. Okay, then f print f, you are pass, you passed, you passed. Okay, else f print f, you failed, and end. Okay, now this time we'll run this into the mask. Let's say first time we'll test with 25, you failed. Okay, then if you want you can run it again and we'll enter the marks 100, you passed. So pass the exam and failed, you are failed in the exam. Now we'll test these things with multiple conditions. Okay, now what we will do, we'll again work on the thing if else, and now if marks are greater than 35 and this is logical operator less than 40, this is how you can mix two conditions. Okay, so this is saying that you replace this with and. Okay, so this is the condition, this is the condition. Now what we will do, we will consider this you are passed the exam with grace marks. Now here I will write percentage d, and we have to write how many grace marks, 40 minus marks. Okay, so these are the marks, it is here, else this is fail. Okay, now we'll check with the multiple condition and we'll substitute 38, you passed the exam with the 2 grace marks, that's correct. So this is how you can consider merging or combining multiple conditions using this and statement. Now let's move to the next structure. Okay, so this is else if else and structure. Now this is used when we have more than two conditions. Okay, the structure is like that. If we starts with F, this is condition. I'll write this in blue color. I'll change this here. So if this is condition 1, this code 1 goes here. Now here instead of else it becomes else if. We have condition 2, this will become code 2. Now if I have more than two conditions, we have to write this else if condition 3, and code 3 will go here. Okay, then this will become else, this will become else code 4 and end. Okay, so this is the structure. Now how does it will work? So if this condition 1 is true, okay, if this condition 1 is true, this code 1 will be executed, and after this code 1 directly loop ends. Okay, now if this false, if this is false, so this is let's see, false, this condition is false, it will go to this else if, and this condition will be checked. Now this condition, if this is false, then this will go here and this condition will be checked, and if this is false, it will go here and this condition will be executed like this. So condition 2 is false, condition 3 is also false. Now instead of this, if this condition true becomes true, this code number 2 will be executed, and this then will end the loop, and after executing this code 2 it will end the loop. If this is not false here, code 3 will be executed. This, if this is true, then this code 3 will be executed, and then this becomes complete. So we will consider this example again. We go to the Matlab and we'll add this thing. Yeah. Okay, now if else end condition structure, and this is the text of heading. Okay, so now we will again consider this. Okay, we will again consider this here. Now enter the marks. Now what we will do, if marks less than, sorry, marks less than 35, you fail. We will write this, marks are less than, then else if marks are less than, now greater than 35 and less than 40. Then you are passed. You have passed the exam. So this will be correct. You have passed the exam with percentage the grace marks, and the grace marks are nothing but yeah, 40 minus marks. Now else, and again we'll print one grade as well. Grade grade A, sorry, this will become D. Okay, this will become grade D. Now we have marks between okay, so we have marks between 40 to 60. 40 to 60. So marks are greater than 40 and less than 60, then you are passed you pass the exam, okay, and you need not to write the grace marks, okay, then your grade is, let's say, C. Again I will write the next condition. Now this time this becomes 60 to 80, and you pass the exam, your grade is B, okay, and else you pass the exam, your grade is A. Okay, so this is the structure if, else if, else if, else if, and else. Okay, so we will run this thing, run section, and enter the marks. Now first we will start with 95. Enter. So you have passed the exam, grade A. Now again we will run this thing and we'll put 75. Enter. Enter. You have passed the exam, grade is B. Now again we'll run this thing and we'll test with 55. This will be grade C. And again we will run this thing, 45. So 45, 37. You pass with the 3 grade marks, grade is D. And again we put 20 marks, failed in the exam. That's how you can use if else if else and structure. Now there is another example. For that thing we will go to the note, okay, and what I will do, I will add some space here. It's very important. Okay, now let's consider there is a water tank like this, water tower I will say. And this is the shape of the water tower. This is circular here, this is circular here, okay, and this is also circular here. Okay, now this total height is, let's say, 25, and this height is 30. Okay, and this radius is nothing but 12.5, and let's consider this radius as 23. Okay, now we have to calculate the volume. Yes, there is a water inside. Okay, and on that water there is a float, at a distance h, okay. This float height will be measured, and based on this float height, calculate based on height, h, calculate the volume of water. Now to calculate the volume of water. Okay, now how does it will work? So we take input h, okay, input height from the user. Okay, then if conditions, if height as less than 25, volume will become pi into 12.5 bracket square into 25. If greater than 25 and less than, this h is greater than 25 and h is less than total 55, then there is a formula. So this volume become pi into 12.5 square into 25 plus. Now we have to calculate the formula. Now how we can calculate this formula here? Let's say this is the current height. Now to this we can calculate using this formula. Now here onwards we have to measure this particular height. So this will become h minus 25. Okay, this is the height, and the volume is calculated by pi by 3 into the h minus 25 into this small radius square 12.5 square plus then this RH, this current radius we have to calculate. This 12.5 into RH plus RH square. Now how this RH will be calculated? Okay, yeah, so RH is nothing but 12.5 smaller radius plus this into R2 minus this will become this height H minus 25, and here it becomes R2 minus what is that? Sorry, let me go here. Now this is calculated. This 13 minus 12.5, how much is it? It's 10 point, this is 10.5. This will go to the numerator, 10.5, and here it will become total height of the cone. So total height is 30. So the formula is like this. If we consider this cone like this, truncated cone, and this is the capital H, this is the small h, this is RH, this is small r1, and here this is r2. Okay, so RH is nothing but the r1 plus the function of h, so h, this h into total height capital H into r2 minus r1. So we have to calculate this RH first, then we'll calculate the volume. Okay, now we'll go to the Matlab and we'll code the same. So we'll take input from user h. H is nothing but the height is equal to input, enter the height, enter the height of the float. Okay, this will be the if now if h cannot be negative, if we are putting any when user is inputting the value h in negative, we have to give the error. So if h is less than 0, okay, 0, f printf h height cannot be negative, okay, please enter enter the correct value. Okay, now if anyone is putting height, else if h, I want this capital, if anyone by mistakenly put this value greater than 55 total height, so we will say that this exceeds the value of this cannot be this exceeds, I will write it here, okay, now error, this exceeds the value of this is more than the height of the tank water tower. Okay, then if h is less than 25, correct, so it should be less than 25, so volume is equal to pi into r square. So r, what is the r here? You have taken this 12.5 square, okay, into the height. If it is less than 25, then we will say it's h, okay, or we'll say less than equal to 25, okay, so h, this will become the volume. Else, now what will be the volume? Now here it will become 25 plus What was the formula here? Pi by 3, pi will divide 3 later on, h minus 25. So the total h minus 25. Okay, this is the height. Then into again star we have 12.5 bracket square plus RH into 12.5 plus RH square. Okay, and total divided by 3. For that thing we'll require RH value, so RH is nothing but 12.5 plus, what is the formula here? RH 10.5 divided by 30, 10.5 divided by 30, so it was into how much? H minus 25. So you will H minus 25. So if value is greater than 25, then this cell will be executed. Okay, yeah, we have to close this bracket. Now where is the error? I just write, we have to write the end. That's it. Now we will run this. Run. Now height we will give minus 10. It will give error. Yeah, correct. Then we will again run it and we'll put return 50, that is 60. This error, this is more than that. Yeah, correct. Again we'll enter it up to 25, and at 25 h, yes, volume. Okay, we have to print f, print f total, the volume, water inside the tower is percentage d comma volume. Yeah, now we'll run this control as, and no need to save, just run again. Again we'll run this thing and we'll substitute 25 as a value. So the volume of water inside is this thing, 1.2271 into e raised to power 4. Okay, that's it. Again we'll run this thing and we'll put the value 35. Total value, height is 35. Yeah, so the volume, the RH value is volume is this, correct? So that's how you can use if else else and end structure into the Matlab. So that's end of this video. We'll meet again in the next videos. Thank you for watching this. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel.